Hello and welcome, lovely Micheline, to another episode
Hi,
of Erongo
Irene.
Talk. How are you?
Thank you for having me, and welcome. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, welcome to our viewers, Micheline. I think you're very excited to tell them who we're chatting to today.
Yes, so we'll be speaking to Richard Kohler, who is kayaking all the way from South Africa to Brazil. But we were fortunate enough. Okay, it was unfortunate for him, but we were fortunate enough to speak to him because he just had a stop here in Namibia. So we were fortunate enough to speak to him and ask him why he's doing this and for which initiative he's doing this. So I think it's really a great initiative. That he's doing. Yes, what else can we expect from the show?
So, today, as always, we bring you news, we bring you the weather and tides, we bring you the front pages of the daily newspapers and the media holdings, we bring the sport news. It's a lot of fun here on Erongo Talk.
Yes.
So, Micheline, what's our calendar day for today?
So our calendar day is Old Rock Day, but before we dive right into it, we'll be also speaking to Aquila Claasen, who is the winner of Voice of Namibia Kidz. So Aquila is going to deliver something amazing. But as always, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. So yeah, back to the calendar day. I wonder what it is. Old Rock Day.
Old rock. Is it like a rock? Like I'm gonna throw you with a rock? Don't throw people with rocks, please. That's weird. Or is it like old rock, like rock
genre,
band,
like rock music.
Old rock, like rock from the olden days, Queen things.
Yeah. So if you want to find out, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And now we bring you some of the local news here from the Erongo region, and we're joining you today from the Walfish Bay waterfront. Now, there were more locals on holiday at the coast. Now, there were many more Namibians enjoying their festive season at the coast than foreigners, according to several business people and institutions to whom Erongo 24/7 spoke in the first week of 2022. Now, one of the main indicators of holiday business traffic are the major shopping at the scene. Now, according to the Swakopmund Municipal Bungalow Manager, Zaldine Isaacs, the 190 units were fully booked out for the first 2 weeks from Christmas to New Year. There were only 2 days that occupation levels dropped, and this was due to the transition from the Christmas crowd to the New Year's crowd, she said. Now, she also said that 100% of those occupying the 190 bungalows were from Namibia and mostly from Windhoek. Now, secondly, Madeleine van der Merwe of Walfish Bay had a very traumatic experience on New Year's Eve when a flare landed on a house's roof and nearly destroyed a swimming pool pipes. Now, I was in the backyard when I saw the flare landing on my roof. I'm a widow who lives alone and went into total panic. My immediate thoughts were that my entire house is going to burn down, she said. Now, the Walfish Bay-based police and neighborhood watch group stated they did not attend any fireworks incidents over the New Year's days and the festive season in general. Now, fireworks were however set off and heard across the harbour town. Now, permission had been granted for a controlled fireworks display facilitated by fireworks, pyrotechnician and security officials on behalf of tuna core fisheries at Independence Beach on New Year's Eve. Now, and finally, the local resorts experienced more bookings this festive season compared to the previous years. This is according to Florentia Mutrifa, the head of resorts at the Walfish Bay municipality. Now, she said that all our resorts had above average occupancy rates, explaining that the Langstrand campsite was the busiest, followed by the Esplanade bungalows and Dolphin Park with an occupancy rate of about 80%. Now, according to her, many South Africans and some Chinese made use of the campsite. The visitors consisted mostly of local families who wanted to enjoy the laid-back atmosphere of the Esplanade Park. Now, she said that most of the visitors already checked out after the New Year's weekend, with only a few that are still staying this week. But this is only up until this weekend. You can see it's slowly diminishing because the schools are starting on Monday. Now, Mutrifa said that she was surprised with the generally good behavior of the public over the festive season. She said it was not as messy, and over the Christmas weekend they also had a cleanup with the help of Coca-Cola. Now, furthermore, the majority of the visitors making use of the Dolphin Park's bungalows were from Windhoek and Oshakati. Now, due to the prolonged maintenance of the swimming pool, they are still closed at Dolphin Park. But she said that they are hoping that by the middle of this year, they can reopen again and we can enjoy some of that swimming pool and slide action. But please head on over to our website, that is www.erongo.com.na. That is www.erongo.com.na to read more on this and what is happening here in our lovely Erongo region.
And now it is time for our front page news. So today we're going to kick off with the Allgemeine Zeitung. We've been putting them last this whole festive season and they just don't deserve it. So above the fold here on the front page of the Allgemeine Zeitung, we have an African dream volunteering with desert elephants. So this is an article about how the Elephant Human Relations Aid, also known as ERA, utilizes voluntourism in keeping their organization alive. And then below the fold here, we have a nice juicy story about the oil industry, but you'll have to go read that one yourself. The German's a bit complex for me. And here in the bottom right corner, we have a little story about the combat mine. But the Republican expands here on it as well in their main story. So in Afrikaans, Combat produseer weer koper. Volle produksie van 30,000 ton per maand is glo net 3 maande weg, writes Ogeto Craig. Die Combat kopermyn is weer in produksie en die eerste koperkonsentraat sedert 2008 is op 30 Desember 2020 vervaardig, net voor die 31 Desember teikendatum. En ten spyte van vertragings in die verskeping van toerusting weens die pandemie. Volgens Trigon Materials se bestuurder vir mynbouondersteuning, meneer Shane Januarie, was dit 'n mylpaal. Dit is belovend dat die aanleg nou op die vervaardiging van konsentraat volgens bepaalde spesifikasies kan fokus. And above the fold here we have a nice photo, manne glimlag breed na virus se stok in hul wiel. Micheline, how's the Namibian Sun looking?
So for the Namibian Sun, we have the leading article, Kati ecstatic as combat resumes production. Now the founding shareholder of the current ownership of the mine says it is now the government's turn to invest in infrastructure at the mining settlement. Businessman Knowledge Kati, who owns 10% in Combat Mine through his company Havana Investments, has expressed delight that the mine produced its first copper concentrate last week, paving the way for creating 300 jobs. I think that's a good one, Irene. Here's also a nice picture of the Kati and Epangolo own a combined 20% in the mine, a picture of the mine. Moving on here, just below, we have an article all the way from Rundu written by Kenya Gambowe. Rape accused social worker suspended without pay. Now a 42-year-old social worker from Kurenkuru accused of raping and impregnating a 16-year-old girl has been suspended without pay. If you want to read more about it, please grab a copy of the Namibian Sun or hop onto their website. The last story here, just on the right columns, on the right side, we have an article written by Jemima Bekes. Kunene salary delays, NAPU approaches court. Now the Namibia Public Workers Union has approached the High Court with an urgent application to order the Kunene Regional Council to pay out the December salaries of its staff following a tit-for-tat battle over the council's reappointment of Chief Regional Officer George Kamsep, The union claims urgency based on the fact that this issue affects workers and their families, including school-going children whose right to education are undermined. So if you want to read more of the stories, full stories, grab a copy or visit their website.
with me is Richard Kohler. Now, he calls himself adventurer. Everyone calls him an adventurer. But you are on a epic adventure from South Africa all the way to Brazil.
That's the plan, yes.
That's the plan.
That's
But
the plan.
please tell us about the plan. What is the plan?
The plan keeps changing, so I'm not sure exactly where we are with the plan. But plan A, as it was to paddle my surf ski, a modified surf ski, from Cape Town to Salvador in Brazil, which is about 7,000 kilometers on my own and without any support boat.
Phew. Now, this modified ski boat,
Yes.
tell us a bit about it, because I just saw this contraption and
It's
did you modify it
it's,
yourself?
It's a wonderful contraption. No, it's a once-off purpose-built craft. It's 8 meters long. It's just less than a meter wide, so it's about as wide as this table.
Yes.
And it's got a cabin in the front that I can crawl into and lie down and sleep. I've got my seating position where I can actually paddle. So let's not get confused from a rowing boat where you go backwards. This is kayak paddling facing forward. I've got a double-bladed paddle, and I paddle like that going forward.
Sure. Now, why are you doing this, Richard?
It's a very good question. Everyone asks that, and I throw back, why not?
Yeah.
But I love the ocean. I spent my whole life in the ocean, and I've never done an ocean crossing on my own. I've crossed the ocean to Brazil 7 times before, so it's not new to me. And that was when I was sailing. And now I took up the sport of kayaking, paddling, and that desire to go across the ocean on my own is still there. So I thought, why not try and do it on a kayak? And not many people have done that.
No, but you're also doing some fundraising.
Absolutely. So the whole cause, the whole charity behind this is Operation Smile South Africa. And they do corrective surgery on children born with cleft lips and palates. And the work that they do is phenomenal. It's like 45-minute surgery.
Wow.
They just change a child's life.
Yeah.
When they're born, they can't suckle. They have so many social problems as well. And that's all corrected in 45 minutes.
Sure.
Sure, there's ongoing help that needs afterwards, but it's as quick as that.
But is this particular project close to your heart for some reason, or?
I've done a number of projects, and the first project I did was for Operation Smiles, and just being involved with them for so long, I've fallen in love with what they do, and that's part of my passion now, is to help them and raise awareness.
Awesome. Now the thing is, the trip to Walfish Bay was unplanned.
Yes, it was very unplanned.
What happened?
So things, when you're on the ocean on your own, I need to make water. And to make water, I need electricity to run the water maker. And to make electricity, obviously, we use solar while we're out there. And what happened was my main solar panels stopped charging the battery. And that's a sort of a showstopper. So if I don't have power, I don't have water. So I was actually quite lucky that I was close enough to be able to get to Walvis Bay.
Yes.
And I had to start using my emergency water to get here because I couldn't run the water maker. So I got here with a couple of litres of water to spare. So yeah, it was very fortunate that Walvis Bay is where it is. Or I was where I was.
How are you enjoying Walfish Bay?
I'm loving it.
Yeah?
It really has been amazing. The people here have been so friendly and so helpful. I'm overwhelmed. That's been fantastic.
Now, how long does a trip like this take, Richard?
So I plan to do about 100 kilometers a day, 7,000 kilometers, so that puts around 70 days on the ocean. But the first 2 weeks while I've been out there, I've discovered I can go a little bit further than 100 k's a day. So I'm hoping it's going to be a bit less than 70 and closer to 60 days.
Wow. Now, how does your day on the ocean look like? When you get up, when you sleep, how does it look like?
To other people, it probably look quite lonely, but I've got no problem with being on my own. The day, it's fairly typical to a normal life on land. You try and get your sleep at night, that's when we're used to sleeping. And then during the day I take shifts, and depending on how I feel of paddling. So I might paddle for 2 hours or 1 hour and take a rest, make breakfast.
You have food on the...
Yes, so all my food on board is freeze-dried food. So basically I just add boiling water to it and I have a meal.
Oh, wow.
And that's where the water maker comes in. I need the water to make the food, and that's sort of a catch-22. And then, yeah, you just paddle. There's not much else to do besides paddle, sleep and eat, and then repeat.
And the conditions on the ocean?
So I've had pretty tough conditions, especially now when I had to change direction, come back to Walvis Bay. I had to go across the southerly winds, and that's very, very challenging on a kayak.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The kayak goes very well downwind with the winds and with the swells. So the last 7 days were pretty full on and hectic. But yeah, you've got it. Basically, it was a self-rescue, and there's no one else going to come out and fetch me. Well, I don't want anyone to be put in that situation.
Yes.
So make sure that you get here, and I did, thankfully.
Wow. Now, how do you stay in contact with your people, or how does it work? You just sail and hope you get to the next place?
The kayak itself is very, very the kayak is very sophisticated. It's got a lot of electronics. It's got fantastic satellite communications on board. So it's pretty much like I've got Wi-Fi on board. I can send a WhatsApp message. I can send pictures and videos back for social media and that.
Blog, yeah, you do blog as well.
That's right, yeah. And then I spend a lot of the time when I'm not paddling. I can do my blog and do a story of what's happening, what I'm thinking, and what's going on around me in the sea life.
Sure. Now, what are some of the challenges aside from the weather that you've experienced before being in the ocean?
It's looking after your body, because your body is your engine, and it's looking after your hands and your bottom. I'm spending most of my time sitting my bottom, so the salt water is very corrosive even to the human body, and you can develop salt sores and which develop further into ulcers and can be debilitating. You can't even sit. So my whole aim is to avoid salt sores. So it's using a lot of, funny enough, baby creams and that on your bottom and your hands. I wear gloves when I paddle, and then obviously the sun, just to try and keep in that.
Sea life?
And that's why this grows. Sea life, yeah, it's had some wonderful sea life. Whales, seals, sunfish, and birds mostly. I haven't seen any dolphins yet, which has been quite unusual. Yeah, no dolphins.
Okay, maybe they're somewhere here.
No, I think they're waiting for me to leave Walvis Bay. They'll come visit.
When are you leaving Walvis Bay?
That's a very, very good question. So I have quite a few. Now that I'm at shore, I can repair all the bits that I was making do with out there. Now I can do proper repair on those. So the decision has been to take the boat back to the builder in Cape Town to do some repairs and modifications and get her ship shape again. And then as soon as that's done, I can bring her back up to Walvis Bay and continue.
Okay, so it's going to be like an extended vacation here.
Well, if you want to say that, yeah. I'm not looking at it as that. I'd really like to work as hard and as fast as possible to get back on track. Also, you know, I've got my real life to get back to sometime. So I can't
your real life?
Spend too much kayak all day. So I'm immersed in the whole kayak world, and I organise surf ski races and kayak races. So that's pretty much what I do now. It's just everything related to kayaks. It's wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you been kayaking?
I started in 2000, so I was quite a late starter. And yeah, I've done very well in it. I've managed to compete internationally in it.
Nice.
And yeah, now I'm just plodding along across the ocean.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Now, Richard, what is your message? You know, COVID came. I think a lot of the people's spirits were dampened, you know. But then we get people like you that goes on these epic adventures. What message do you have for our people?
I think my message to everyone is life is meant to be an adventure, but it doesn't have to be an adventure like I'm doing, going across the ocean. Do things, you can do it in your backyard. You can go and spend a night up in the tent in your backyard. Just something different from the mundane rat run. Go and have a little adventure. It might be just taking the family out to somewhere in the dunes, perhaps, that you haven't been for years. You know, I live in Cape Town, and I don't know when last I went up Table Mountain.
Sure.
And isn't that crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, I'm busy doing other things, but you go back and you're, well, why not? It's right there. So get out of your comfort zone, go and have an adventure, and live your life properly.
Awesome. No, thank you. I think that's an awesome New Year's message as well. Thank you so much, Richard.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And now time for your sports. Here at the back page of the Namibian Sun, we have a leading article by Jackson Kauraiza. Will football start this year? FIFA confirmed its visit to Namibia at a time when Namibian football faces an uphill battle, and it remains to be seen where the league football will be played given the infighting and coronavirus challenges. Football pundits in the country hope and wish that FIFA's visit next week could bring unity to Namibian football that will eventually lead to the start of the league. Irene, I think I'm hoping and praying that they come to a stable conclusion so that we can see some teams competing again on the pitch.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think especially football is now providing sort of a way out for a lot of disadvantaged children. And I think this is a very early sign in any union, in any sport that is taking itself to a professional level, is that there is going to be fighting. But I think for the sake of the athletes, that they could provide with a life and a decent life in terms of them playing for clubs and playing for teams, I think it's important that they sort out their
Definitely,
their
because
issues.
It's not just them being affected, but it's the players at large.
And it's the next generation
Definitely.
as well.
And I think recently when we're just at the Christmas Cup, we could see the hunger that these kids actually want to play.
Absolutely.
So they were really excited when or during the Christmas Cup.
So here's to hoping that the love for the sport will come through.
Definitely. Moving on, just here below, we have an article by Nampa, provided by Nampa Athletics Training Camp concludes today. Now the 29th edition of the Marathon Sugar Quinton Steel Bottas Athletics Training Camp, which kicked off in Windhoek on Tuesday, will conclude today. The camp saw over 120 athletes and 43 level 1 coaches in attendance. Now just more information, these coaches were spread right across from the world. So we saw coaches from USA. We also had the presence of Hank Botha. So I think these athletes were very privileged to be in the presence of these amazing coaches. Anywho, my stories here are done. Over to the Republican.
Okay, so over in the Republican, we have a little bit of rugby news going on with Andrew Pullman writing, NRI wil Griekwas uitnooi. Die komende rugby seisoen is van kritieke belang vir die nasionale span. Verskeie stukkies van die legkaart verg egter aandag om die plaaslike sport op 'n gesonde voet te hou. 'n Vriendskaplike tuis- en wegwedstryd teen die tafellager Griekwas gedurende die eerste helfte van die 2022 seisoen is een van die hoopvolle doelwitte wat die Namibia Rugby Unie bitter graag sal wil bereik. Suid-Afrika se herstrukturering van sy gebruikelike seisoen deurdat sy provinsiale unies so vroeg in Januarie maand reeds in verenigde rugby kampioenskappe en die Karibebeker slaags raak, dien vir die buurland Namibia ook as 'n ernstige wekroep dat die professionele spel al verder wegbeweeg van die ou plaaslike amateur gewoonte. But you can read more on this on the back page of the Namibian Sun and Republican today, so be sure to grab your copy.
I am joined by Aquila Claasen, who is the Voice Namibia Kidz edition winner. Aquila, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. Aquila, so tell me, take us through this journey of you singing. When did you come about your love for music? When did you realize that, wow, I can actually sing?
Well, at first I was just a bedroom singer.
Okay.
Then my mom said I should start joining like competing in competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
So at first I was shy, but then I realized that I have a voice and
that you can sing. So
yeah.
how old were you that time?
7.
7.
Yeah.
And ever since then you started taking baby steps to compete in singing competitions?
No, like this is my first competition ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the competition was in Windhoek, right?
Yeah.
How did you come about, or where did you find out about the Voice of Namibia?
Well, my cousin Phoebe's mother told me about the competition, and my sister asked me to join, so I joined.
Okay, and take us through the process, the application, the registering process. You are here based in Swakopmund and you have to go all the way down to Windhoek. How was that, you knowing that you have to compete against people, or compete against your competitors, I must say. So how many were you guys? Were there like different stages in the competition?
Well, I don't really know how many we were, but I think we were 20.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they disqualified the people, I think 14, and then we were only 10 left.
Yes.
And so after we were selected, the 10 people, we went to Windhoek to start with the competition.
With the competition. Yeah. So how long was the competition? Was it a one day competition where you were just doing back-to-back sing, or where you guys were singing back-to-back?
It was a one-time
thing. Okay, so when you got into the car, got into your transport from Swakop to Windhoek, what was going through your mind? Were you positive that you will win, or how were you feeling? And how did you feel that when your name was called?
I was excited at first. First, I was nervous because I didn't really expect them to choose me as the winner. I was nervous and excited. At first, we had to perform as a group act,
okay,
to open up for the adults. So the first time being on stage, I was nervous. I was excited as well, yes. But yeah, first time we were nervous. We did have some troubles to start with opening the night.
Okay. So tell us about your training sessions. Did you have a vocal instructor? How did you prepare for this competition? I know that you guys usually have a do, re, mi, so, fa, la.
Oh yeah, I don't know any of that. So I don't have a voice coach at all. I just practiced on my own. My mom helped me and that stuff. Yeah.
So is your mom also into music?
Yeah, she is singing, but she cannot.
Okay, so but how did you said you prepared individually for this? How did you prepare? In what genres did you choose to prepare for the competition?
Well, I don't really know.
So you were just singing daily to prepare yourself towards the competition?
Yeah.
All right. So Aquila, you are a singer now, and I'm sure you have people that you look up to in the music industry, your role models and so forth. So can you tell me who inspires you when it comes to the music industry?
Well, my cousins, they like Monique. She's not my cousin. So I got my inspiration from her, and also from my other cousins and my mom's cousin. Yeah, okay. She's also sings, so I got inspired by them.
Okay, and let's take it a bit international. Who do you look up to when it's international, and what type of genre do you like singing?
Is it gospel?
Yeah.
Yeah, gospel.
Yes. So gospel, anything? Is it anything gospel? Like, is it the Benjamin Dube, the likes of Benjamin Dube, or is it the Hillsong type of?
Yeah,
gospel?
Hillsongs. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So any message to aspiring singers? I mean, you're very young, and I must say congratulations for walking away with this big prize. Any message to the people that are still in their shells that would like to come out and just take a huge step like you did?
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you for all my supporters and all that. I just want to say don't be shy, because you can't be.
Yes, you can just. Yes, you see. Aquila is really excited, guys. She does not have words at all. So, what prize did you walk away with?
So they gave me a boombox and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and a $3,000 photo shoot with my family and all that, and 2 nights at the guest house.
Have you gone already since we're in the festive season? Have you gone already?
Not really. I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. All right. So Aquila, thank you so much for joining us. Are you looking forward to joining again the competition next year?
Yeah, I am.
So you're gonna be better and greater for the next competition. So thank you so much for joining us, Aquila. Aquila will deliver to us a song, one of the songs that she likes. So thank you.
You took my heart and gave it a home. We made it through the aching parts, and I gave you my soul. Oh, we tried to kill the pain and heal these scars, but now love has had its day, and we're moving apart. We're chasing time, we gotta find peace of mind and understand that, baby, we never can. Oh, you call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where our feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery. In oceans deep, my faith will stand. So I will call upon your name, Jesus, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul rests in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine.
Micheline.
Hi Otis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Yeah. Quite a significant stretch of open space opened up by the leader or the leaders at this point in time. And this footage is brought to you by Namibia Media Holdings, courtesy of our Erongo Talk show. Enjoy it with us. Brilliant stuff. Here they come. Here they come. You can see the water splashing of the water as they are racing towards the finishing line. They've been swimming now for about 20 minutes to the point. So at this point of the war or the fight, we can say Philip Seidler's record is still intact and will remain so for another year. And here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come. It's neck to neck. Who will it be? In the absence of Philip Seidler, we are going to crown a brand new 30 mile champion today. The question that begs an answer is, who will it be? Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. A last dive. And the first one is out of the water. Tight stuff. Tight stuff. And the first one is out. Chased by the second swimmer. In exactly 22 minutes, if we have it right. 22 and a half minutes swim. And the other races are also coming in. We have our first swimmer in, our second swimmer also. Max Guest. He's goes by the name of Max Guest. Max Betts, ons is met Max Betts. Hoe gaan het, man?
Nee, goed, dank en self.
Yes, it's amazing, man. Hoe het jy dit gedoen?
Well, ek het net die hele tyd agter Nico geswem en dan van daarvoor af het ek dan
Ja, ons het
net
julle
verby
dopgehou. Hier by die jetty verby het jy begin move.
Ja.
Hoe sê mense, soos 'n duikboot.
Ja,
Ja, so is dit die eerste keer wat jy swem? Doen jy dit gereeld?
nee, ek het nou die laaste paar jaar het ek dit al gedoen. En nou die jaar was Philip nie daar nie, so toe het die ander mense 'n kans weer gehad.
Was dit 'n aansporing vir jou die feit dat Philip nie by was hierdie keer nie?
'n Bietjie ja.
Ja, sê. Jou tyd was so 22 minute 30 sekondes. Is jy tevrede met dit?
Ja nee, ek is eintlik reeds tevrede met dit, ja.
Ja, sê. Ja, sê.
Ja.
Wat gaan jy nou hierna doen?
Hierna ek weet iets lekker eet.
Iets lekker ja.
Ja.
Wel verdiend man en dankie dat jy tyd
Dankie.
geneem het om met ons te gesels.
Geen probleem.
Dankie.
Dankie.
How are you doing, man?
I'm very tired. I gave everything, but
I believe you, brother. I believe you. You led from the onset,
yeah,
but then at the jetty, Max had some oomph and he came past you.
yeah.
What was your strategy in this race?
I don't know. My strategy always just to follow what I wanted to do, and it's swim the front, but I knew he was just behind me, and at the end, then he was faster.
Yes. So have you swum this race before?
Yes, I swam it last year.
Okay, first time last year.
Yes.
Was the absence of Flippy any motivation?
No.
So what you gonna do after this?
After this, I think it's worth it to celebrate something because it's still the second place. Yeah.
Will you be back next year?
Yes, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, our viewers out there, enjoy this extraordinary swimming feat with us. You can see exhausted competitors arriving at the finishing line after a 1.92 kilometer swim. And I must mention that they started swimming at 3:30, and half an hour later they are in. They are arriving in droves now. I must say that the weather played beautifully along. Nice and sunny weather. No wind out there. The drone showing us that there were not big swells. And despite that, these swimmers did exceptionally well. I'm with Mali Smalley, the winner of the female section.
Yes.
How did it go?
It was pretty rough. I mean, coming towards the jetty was pretty smooth, pretty nice. Not many people. It was nice. But from the jetty to about the rocks, the rocks never came, and the waves started getting bumpy, and you just don't get a bit lost. But it was nice at the end. The struggle is swimming here and then running up the sand. I think that's the worst bit.
So did you come to this race with a plan, and what was your plan?
I've swum this race for the last 8 years, and up and down. It's been, this place, that place, and this year I was the fittest I've ever been. I've been training my whole life, so I figured let's just give it a go and see what happens.
First podium finish.
First female, yes.
First female.
Yes, I think I was 6th or 5th overall. Yeah.
So tell me, what does it take to compete at this level?
Well, I've been swimming 20 years. I recently got into open water, and I'm just developing the technique as I go, and just training every day and having the right mindset is how you have to do it.
Training every day of your life.
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
Swimming is a way of life for you.
Basically, without the water, I'm nothing.
So tell me, what are you going to do after this?
I don't know. I'm just going to continue my swimming career. I think my goal is to try and get to the Olympics in 2024 for indoor swimming. But we'll see when that road comes.
Are you coastal based?
No, I'm from Windhoek, but I'm in the States currently studying.
Okay, what are you studying for?
I'm studying my master's in business administration.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you're going to go boast about...
Yeah,
what
just
you-
a little bit. Just
Okay,
a
well
little.
done.
Thank
and
you so much.
Keep it going.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Like no beer.
Jammer. But the rest of the swimmers are still coming in, heading to the finishing line. It takes determination to swim 1.92 kilometers in less than half an hour, and we can really see it has been done here today. The canoes are also appearing on the horizon, so that means the last ones are heading to the finishing point. Mia, Maya, ons het vanochtend gesels.
Yeah.
En je hebt het gedaan. Hoe voel je?
It's very tough. I feel broken, but it's nice once you've completed it. It's a good achievement.
Is it worth it?
It's very much worth it. Very worth it.
Tell me about your race experience.
To the jetty, I felt horrible. I thought I was so far behind. I thought it was horrible. And it was such a slow race till then. But once I came around the jetty, everything picked up, and I just picked up my pace, caught a few of my opponents, and managed to take them around the rocks here.
So we spoke about the conditions.
Yeah.
Early in the day.
Yes.
How did things play out?
They weren't my ideal conditions, but they were. If I had to choose anything else other than my favorite conditions, this would be great. It was nice and flat. Felt like I was swimming in a pool or a lake. It was wonderful conditions.
Will you be back next year?
I will always be back for this event.
Okay, so what's next?
I'm not sure. I'm training to go to SA Juniors, and I hope to make it to Junior World Champs one day. But till then, it's just training, doing the galas, coming to events like these, and
What's your immediate plans right after this?
just train.
Ne?
Train.
Even when you leave this venue now.
Even when I leave. Oh, right after this. Oh, okay. I think I'll go spend time with my friends after prize giving and just enjoy the rest of my day. It's
Well done. Nice chatting to you. The junior winner, we brought to you a chat with Max Betts and Melanie Smalley. Some more finishers arriving now. Can we cut? How far? How much time? Okay, we'll wait for the last one. The official last swimmer, we can see he's been brought to the shore by canoes. Someone paddling, and he's coming in. This is our last competitor for the Pupkewitz Jetty Mile. It's an amazing scene here at the finishing line. You heard there were an estimated 300 competitors in this race for this year, and Here he comes. Here he comes. It takes guts to do what these gentlemen have done here today. It's an open water swim and it takes guts. Really, really a tough race. And he's heading to the shore now. This is now the last moments of the jetty mile. Here he comes. You can see he's visibly tired. He's taking a break, rest, and there he starts again. So close and yet so far. I wonder what's going on in his mind at this point of the race.
This is not just physically tiring, it's mentally tiring because you have to keep on pushing yourself, pushing your mind, getting yourself focused.
Yes.
And here he comes, and obviously the back markers, you can see the canoes and that supporting him.
Yes.
What a wonderful event.
Yes, and here comes this gentleman. We've been waiting for him. He's been receiving a round of applause. Here he comes, thumbs up from him. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the final swimmer arriving at the finishing line. We're going to take him in. He takes a plunge. He's been helped, and here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. How are you doing?
I'm surviving.
We need to finish the race. Come, we need to finish. Let's push, let's push, let's push. We are going to push. We are going to help you. And he's here, he's here, he's here. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. Here to finish. And your surname?
Kirkpatrick.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Are you locally based?
Yes.
Okay. So you live in Swakop?
I live in Windhoek.
In Windhoek. What made you do what you've done today?
Well, I like swimming here.
Wow, wow. How old are you? Or how young are you? Sorry, how young are you?
68.
68.
Yeah.
So why?
I love the water.
You love the water?
Yeah.
And how did this race go for you?
It was okay.
Did you come with a plan?
I wanted to finish.
You wanted to finish.
Yeah.
You did that. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Will you do it again?
We'll try. We'll give it a go next year.
Give it a
Yeah.
go. Yes. What would your message be to the other Namibians out there? Young ones especially.
Well, give it a go.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for speaking
Thank you.
to us. Brilliant
Cool,
stuff,
man.
sir. Yes. Thank you. And he might even loop some of the other swimmers. And the leader is heading to the beach. And I think the two little girls that they push it, they might just catch for me. There's apparently two junior girls chasing the leader. But it's going to be another close finish. Some splashing action at the Mola, where the sprint event of the Pupkowitz Jetty Mile is about to continue. It's going to be head-to-head, another head-to-head finish for the sprinting event. They're about a couple of meters out from the shore. Any moment now. There's Corneille coming. He looks back over his shoulder. It's like he's taunting these girls, and he's out of the water, and he's heading, and the girls are chasing him.